Okay, so getting a lot of questions today about, are we headed to an election? Jagmeet Singh said he's going to vote to bring down the government. Doesn't that mean we're headed to the polls soon? January 27th, he could bring in a non-confidence motion. We're going to head to the polls in February, March. No. Here's the thing. The House returns on January 27th. So there's no chance of the government falling before then unless Justin Trudeau says, hey, let's call an election now. Do I think he's going to do that? No. Why? Because he would lose. So why would he do that? He's not going to. Jagmeet Singh says, well, we'll bring in a non-confidence motion at the earliest opportunity. He can table that anytime after January 27th. It doesn't matter. By the way, his pension is now essentially vested. Unless Justin Trudeau does call an early election, Jagmeet Singh has his pension. He only has to survive 36 days past January 27th when the House resumes, and he's got his pension fully vested. So if you think that's why he's not doing this, there you go. There's your answer. But on the issue of an early election, so let's say the House comes back January 27th, the government controls when opposition days are, or supply days as they're called. The earliest, so you've got to have 2 conservative opposition days plus a bloc opposition day before you get to the NDP having an opposition day. Chances are the government is going to backdate or push back those opposition days until the end of February. And that means that at most, by the time we get to vote on them, it's mid-March because of the break. I mean, they could easily engineer that. And if they allow those votes to go forward, then we're looking at March 17th, March 18th, the government falling. And then you go 36 days from that, you're looking at just after Easter, we're having an election. So April. All right, so that's one scenario. Another scenario, Justin Trudeau comes back, realizes he's going to lose power, decides to prorogue and call a Liberal leadership race, which they prorogue and they put things off until, let's say, if he calls it in late January, then we're talking about 4 months later. So you go February, March, April, we're into early May. You have a leadership race then, and because that's what the liberal constitution calls for. And then we're probably looking at an October election at that point. So look, there's a lot of unknowns. And as I said in my column at The Sun, just read it all if you want all the details, torontosun.com. There's so many unknowns. And it reminds me of the great old Quebec saying, as people say, well, what about this? What about that? And I say, well, if my grandmother had wheels, she'd be a bus. That's how many unknowns there are, how many variables there are. If. That's not how you get to anything at this point. The only thing that matters right now is what is Justin Trudeau doing, and is he leaving anytime soon? Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it at all. The country needs that. The country needs an election. The country needs a new government led by Pierre Poilievre and the Conservatives. But we're not going to get that because Justin Trudeau and his ego simply won't allow it. Let me know what you think. Drop a comment down below. Share this on social media. Don't forget to subscribe to the Toronto Sun's YouTube account.